Hey, Gina here at Tarot in Time, giving you your week ahead tarot and astrology reading for the week of January 31st. Really excited about this week ahead. There's so much stuff going on, so much possibility this week. So, let's start by talking about how Venus has gone out of retrograde. It just went out this past Saturday. It has officially gone, or it's considered stationed, and then it moves direct. So, that is very exciting. It's nice when things kind of get back to somewhat normal. But remember that Venus, now that it's going direct, is going to come right back over Pluto, right? So this is that final dance with Venus and Pluto for now. So we want to start looking back. I have been encouraging you to kind of keep track of what's been going on since about the beginning of December, what's been coming up in your relationships. I almost feel like it's like, what's the bottom line? Where do you keep landing in your relationships? When things are out of balance, what thoughts and emotions are coming up? I find that I'll find myself in the same state with the same few words coming up, statements that come up. And so this is the time for that transformation to take place. So Venus direct, but by February 18th, Venus is going to be back in the orb of Pluto. So it'll be about 9 degrees apart starting February 18th. So we're going to start having it come right back over, and by March 3rd, both Pluto and Venus will both be at 27 degrees Capricorn. So Capricorn, the structure of our lives, our place in the world, the foundation of our lives. So often associated with our career, our long-term, I think about money, long-term. And then Venus there. So Venus also, associated with money, the things that we value, our self-value, our relationship with ourself, our relationship with others, especially our relationship with women. And so there we are. We get to get one last swipe over Pluto. So all those themes of retrograde, reviewing, renewing, redefining, all of those kind of RE words. This is that last sweep. And I think it's the last sweep of clarity because we've gone over it, back over, we've had these back and forths, and now we get the final. So now it's almost like we get the chance to really do it. I keep using these quotes, right, so to speak. Do it from our heart, from all that we've learned, for the best results, right? Use Pluto in the best way. It wants to transform. So allow that transformation to happen. About March 15th, that dance will start to end. There'll be about 10 degrees. Venus and Pluto will be about 10 degrees apart on March 15th. So it's starting to go out of orb, and then we'll move on to other things. So one retrograde down, we've got another retrograde ending on February 3rd. Mercury, the planet of communication, how we express ourselves, communication, roadways, all those deliveries of information. And that's going to go direct on the 3rd. So that'll be exciting to get some more direct energy going on. This is a new moon week, and this is also the new lunar year, and we're moving into the year of the tiger, which I'm excited. I'm a tiger. So this is I'm thinking the word unleashed, and in the most positive of ways that I can think of the word unleashed. I was in a class recently with Sheila Haidt. You hear me mentioning her a lot. She's one of my great teachers and mentors, and she was talking about the tiger being one of the only cats that has shoulders, right? So like that power behind that. So new moon in Aquarius week. So this is going to be a lot of Aquarius energy this week, right? It's when the new moon is in the same sign as the sun sign. That's considered the new moon. So when the moon moves and they're together. So Aquarius, unpredictable or unpredictably predictable. So anything's possible. That's really exciting. Let's envision it being great and wonderful things. We know Aquarius wants equality. It's the humanitarian energy. It's kind of like that fight the power energy. So that's a lot of fight the power energy when you've got all this Aquarius energy, you've got this tiger new year, And then we have the holiday, and I'm not too familiar, I'm learning Imbolc, which is February 1st. It's a pagan holiday from the 1st to the 2nd, and it's considered the halfway point between winter and spring solstice, associated with the Celtic goddess Brigid, who's all about poetry, craft. She's the goddess of fire, fertility, healing, health, inspiration, and wisdom and learning, like all this great stuff. So we're thinking about, like, we just had a snowstorm here in New England. It's intense. We're in the thick of the winter, but knowing that this holiday has to do with that stirring deep down, when the seeds start to make little turns in the ground, I guess, and just start to think that spring's coming. This is the preparation period for spring coming and all that's going to come alive. And we're in a 6th year of numerology, right? Think of that as moving forward, the year of the gift. So there's a lot stirring right now, even though it looks like everything's under the snow. So we want to start envisioning everything that we want to manifest. With Aquarian energy, with a new moon energy, anything's possible. Let's think big. Aquarius rules large groups of people. It's the mind, right? The mind being really active, the stories that we tell ourselves. There's I think you've heard me talk of Sarah Verba. I think I'm saying her name right. I like to follow her online, and she was talking about Aquarius being the mind, right? The mind being so active, the stories that we tell ourselves, and starting to take a look at what these stories are. She was talking about taking a blank piece of paper and just writing down the words that come up. There's so many stories that we're telling ourselves right now, right? I started to notice, we're inside a lot, we're eating a lot, it's cold out. The stories that I had my daughter actually catch me and say, Mom, you can't talk like that about yourself because I look a lot like you. And that really helped me realize, wow, I'm telling stories, I'm not even paying attention to the stories that are coming out of my mouth. So starting to write down, okay, maybe it's self-image, things like that. And look, I don't want to pass that on to my children, right? So catching it, writing it, it's a great time to write that and burn that, especially on the new moon, especially with this holiday of Imbolc. I think I'm pronouncing that right. With the goddess Brigid being the goddess of fire. Great time. It's a dark moon to get rid of all those things that don't work. So I'm going to keep working on my list. I'm always talking about burning things. Yes, I have a lot of Scorpio energy. So Scorpio likes to burn things, to carve it. Let's get those thoughts out on paper and get them out. Burned safely. Bonfire would be great. If you can do that safely, one thing we're allowed to do here in New England is burn things. We're not out west where they have to be so careful. But we can do it over the toilet, right? We can burn it and flush it. So whatever safe way, you can do that. Okay, so the stories we tell. I always, you hear me talking about Aquarius as related to sci-fi, right? Because it can be like this big imaginations, big stories. I don't think those are all fictional either. I think Aquarius is very connected to other realms. So let's write, because sometimes we're telling ourselves lies. Sometimes we're telling ourselves stories that aren't true. Or even if they are slightly true, we have the power to change them. So let's get these stories out. Great time for writing in general. Great season for it in New England. Aquarius is an air sign, so it's a great time for expression of the written word. I was thinking of the word, I said unleashed earlier with the tiger, and then the word uprise came up because Aquarius is that fight the power energy, right? We know that the planet that rules Aquarius, Uranus, the lightning bolt of change, is square Saturn right now, right? It's been that way for a while, wanting to bring change to the old antiquated ways. So that word uprising, it's kind of funny. I had picked this picture here to use. This was just like something I'd seen on Facebook that I really liked. The Goddess is Reborn. And this is about this pagan holiday where that seeds are stirring in the ground and starting to awaken and starting to move. And this energy of the feminine starting to awaken here, which I think is just so beautiful. But when I was looking at that and thinking the word uprising coming up to mind, I really started to, I printed this out, Bob Marley's Uprising album cover. And it kind of has a similar vibe of just busting out, right? And Bob Marley was an Aquarius, so kind of interesting energy. If I was a little more tech savvy, I'd get his songs on my video, but I need some help with that. Okay, so let's think of that rising up, fight the power, and sometimes just fighting the power of ourselves, of what is this old stories, what has to go, it's time. And so let's let ourselves be reborn during this time. Let's get our moon water out this week. We have the new moon in Aquarius on Tuesday, the 1st, 12:46 a.m., same time as we go into this new Tiger year. And so all this powerful energy going on this week. So get your moon water out, get some wishes written, right? So you can do that whole thing of writing down the thoughts that aren't working. You can burn that, and then you can write the new wishes. May even want to plant some seeds. This is a great time for, working with some bulbs and having those, what's it called when you bring them in the house and get them to pop inside. That would be great. And you actually could take the, if you burned the list in like a metal bowl or something, you could take the ashes and use them as fertilizer. So that's another great positive way to use that change that you're bringing. Okay, so Tuesday, new moon. Wednesday, we're still going to be in Aquarius. So we're starting the week off with the moon in Aquarius. Anything's possible. Aquarius is the Fool card in tarot, right? So there could be some adventures. There could be unpredictability. Just plan on that things will be unpredictable. That's just the way it is. It can bring a lot of fun too. So be flexible. Aquarius is a fixed sign, not necessarily known for its flexibility. Just know that that is possible. By early Wednesday morning, the moon will move into Pisces. So we know that when the moon's in a water sign, it's definitely a time to be more restful, very creative energy. And so we'll be in Pisces until early morning Friday. So you may want to take it slower those days. That might be more nurturing, more kind to yourself. Great time for baths, great time for those candlelit meditations in the bathtub that I'm always talking about. Okay, so by Friday morning, the moon will move into Aries, and we'll be in Aries until about dinner time on Sunday. So that Aries is fire, recreating yourself. It's associated with the term I am. So who do I want to be now? And so this is a great time to get out and do and see, and Aries is dynamic. So a very dynamic weekend, very passionate. One thing I will say is that looking at the chart for the week, the energy's all kind of together. It's going to hit your chart in one area. So things aren't necessarily going to be balanced, but there's going to be specifics. Now we have a lot of energy in Aquarius. We've got the moon there starting off the week, the sun there, we have Saturn there. We also have a lot in Capricorn, right? Pluto, Venus, Mercury. And Mercury and Pluto are really close to each other. So we have to be really careful with our words. We can use them for transformation. We can use them positively, but we have to be careful of being harsh and being cutting with our tongue. So let's be aware that that's going on right now. They're very close to each other. And then there's a couple planets in Pisces, but they're all kind of on one side. So don't expect to get to everything this week. Find where you find the energy is working for you. It may have to do with things related to work. It may be, again, Aquarius, unpredictable. It could be thought, it could be writing, could be just working on your taxes. And then there's also some planets in Pisces, Neptune being one of them that rules Pisces. So you may want to really take that time out for rest. It's kind of like work, long rest, work, long rest, okay? And bringing water into the situation would be very cleansing right now. So don't expect a lot from yourself. Be flexible, that things will change. They'll be up and down, that things aren't going to be across the board even, but there can be some really dynamic energy this week. Okay, so for the piles, I'm using this, what is it called? Moonology deck. And for pile 1, we have a new moon. A new start is coming. Very exciting. And for pile 2, we have new moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. Because Aquarius is the water bearer, often thought to be a water sign, but it's actually an air sign that needs to find the balance, to bring emotions into the situation and find the balance between the mind and the heart. Pile number 3, Aquarius is a fixed sign. I have hold your vision, fixed moon. Okay, so keep envisioning what you want. Bigger, you can go big with this. Aquarius rules large spaces. Go big with this. Hold in mind things that you want, that you have fun with it, play with it. And great time for a vision board. Okay, pick your pile. Let's get started. Pile number 1. A new start is coming, the new moon. New moon in Aquarius. Okay, I've got 4 decks that I'm working with today. This new mermaid one from Dame Darcy, and we just got those recently in stock. Very different. I really like them. The Muse Tarot, which is a fabulous, fabulous one by Chris Ann. We have this beautiful Modern Witch deck, which has become one of my new favorites very quickly. And then the Herb Crafters, which is one of my long-term favorites. Okay, let's see what you need to know this new moon week ahead. And I have not looked at any of these cards yet. Used my pendulum to choose the decks. And here we go, week ahead. Starting off with the Knight of Wands. Passionate, ready to move, get out there and go. New start is coming and you're ready. Knight of Wands wants to live and see and do, and you know, with this theme of uprising, it's like this is fire energy. This is ready for this new start, ready to have some fun. We're a little overdue. Okay, supporting the, Heart of the Matter, we have the Ace of Air, which is Yarrow. Ace of Swords, this would be an Aquarius card. So it's kind of like almost, it's really got this uprising theme, kind of busting out from that wire fence and growing the way it wants to grow, not being stopped. Yarrow is a plant that's used to help with bruises and skin wounds, really. So the Ace of Air is there and ready and not gonna let, kind of let its old wounds stop them. It's an ace, it's a 1, it's something new. A new start is coming. Supporting your heart, we have the Knight of Materials. This would be the Knight of Pentacles traditionally. So gorgeous. Oh, so much energy moving forward. We've got a knight on a horse here. We've got this one running free. It's a sense of freedom, not being stopped. Let's see what we have for your foundation card. The King of Wands. This is the Modern Witch deck. So we started with the Knight, kind of a younger version, and then the Wisdom of the King that comes in at the bottom here. So just making sure, you know, that we want to just get out there and go and do. We've been through a pandemic. We're starting to think about spring a little bit. And we're starting to come out of these retrogrades. And maybe you weren't buying things during retrograde because I've been telling you not to. Maybe you haven't been having all the conversations that you wanted to have. Maybe you've been cautious with Mercury close to Pluto or with Mercury in retrograde. So remembering that there's this fresh, like popping up energy. Knight of Wands wants to go. There's this new start, this uprising. But the King of Wands is going to use his wisdom at the bottom to know when to go and when to just plan going, I guess, would be more like it. Because the King of Wands wants to go and live a big life. Now behind the scenes, we have the Nine of Inspiration. So much inspiration going on here. Look how beautiful this is from the Muse Tarot. So 9 of Inspiration would be the 9 of Wands. And there's like a path behind her that just goes off into the distance. She's all dressed up for it and ready. Behind the scenes, we have the moon. This is the Mermaid Tarot. So, interesting. The moon and Nine of Inspirations. Let's see what else we've got here in the future position. We've got the Tower, but this is from the Herb Crafters, and it's mushrooms. Look at that. Breaking down that piece of birch, transforming it. This is an Aquarius card too, the Tower. This is such a gentle version of the Tower. It's such a natural process of breakdown. The mushrooms are there to help decompose this. I think that's a beautiful version of the Tower. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles riding a seahorse, moving forward. Okay, so basically I'm getting there's going to be a lot of, it's like that seed busting out. It like wants to go, but remembering to use the wisdom to slow down a little bit. We still have Mercury in retrograde ending this week, but we'll still be in that shadow period. We are heading towards spring, but we're not there yet. We kind of want to just make sure that we're really tapping into our feelings, our intuition, not just acting out of like resistance or just wanting to bust out. I think a lot of us are feeling that way from the pandemic, but using our wisdom and letting, there's a process. We have changed through this pandemic, and things are different now. And so we don't have to go out there and just like, I don't know, the Tower just feels like really dramatic, and it doesn't have to be. It can be, we're different now. We can use our power differently and to transform for the better. And it's kind of almost like a smoother ride there. I'm going to pull a few more because I feel like I'm missing a little bit. What is important right now for you to know? The Devil card. Hierophant. And the Tower again. Okay, so you've got three major arcanas when I'm asking what else is important for you to know. The Devil card is one of the cards of the year for 2022 because 2022, you add up the numbers, it equals 6. So in numerology, it's considered a 6 year. And the Devil card is card number 15. 1 and 5 is 6. So the Devil and the Lovers are actually our theme cards this year. This card is kind of like, almost like want to bust out of that enslavement to the system, to the rules. This is Saturn. So the rules that have been placed upon us that, can't exactly say it's been fun. It's been interesting. There's kind of this rebellious energy here. And so the Hierophant wants you to stay connected. This was actually one of the cards of the year last year because 2021 equaled the number 5. This is the Hierophant, reminding you to trust your inner guide, to stay connected with your higher power before jumping into making huge change. And then we've got the Tower again. This is a much different version of it, more the classic version of it. And so I would say there's a little bit of a need to just kind of pause, not to so much act out of our wounds of feeling held back, to really see where have we changed for the better, what else do we want to change, make our wish list. A new start is coming. Let's harness this energy properly. The Tower energy used properly, this is my thing today, I keep doing this, can make great change for lots of people. Let's not use it destructively. Okay, I'm gonna pull 2 more, and I'm gonna give you an oracle and some letters. I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, let's see. I got 2 more here. Page of Voices and the 7 of Voices. Okay, these are both air cards. So Page of Voices from the Muse. A lot of different thoughts going on, a lot of ideas about maybe what's stylish or how she wants to look. That mind's going to be really active during Aquarius season. It rules the mind, it rules thought. And so keeping an idea that not everything we think is true, not everything we think is helpful. Some of it's just been picked up in our environment. Pluto and Mercury really close together. It's like that Venus and Pluto dance. It's giving us an opportunity to look at what needs to be transformed, right? And interesting, I didn't really look to see how Mercury is going to cross over Pluto again too. So now we have another dance going on. So this is giving us a chance to clear up, I think it's like a lot of self-image stuff. This is the Seven of Voices, and it actually came out like this, but I think this is the way, this is the correct way. So there's a lot of seeing things from different perspectives. Which way is up, right? And there's a lot of foxes in there. And a lot of times foxes can have to do with, I've seen it associated with like the magician, the trickster. So paying attention to the thoughts, some of them are just there to mess with us a little bit, or just kind of like, I don't think they're there intentionally to mess with us. I think that we're picking a lot of things up from our environment. I guess that's what I'm getting. We're picking up things from the past, what people told us, other people who maybe didn't have the best intentions for us, that wanted to maybe kind of energy feed off of us, that may have put us down, and we've stored that information. And so this is ready to help you transform, to walk through that door, this change that's available right now. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards going. I'm working with the Relative Tarot Oracle by Carrie Paris, and I'm going to pull you 2 of those. 1 and 2. I've got Bohemian. She's going to do things the way she wants to. Very Aquarian. And Visionary, which is so Aquarian too. Man, I couldn't have planned this, pick these if I had planned it. Okay, so be yourself. Use this energy to envision big what you want. Plant the seeds this new moon of your new life, the new ways, the new freedom, and be open to greatness, to even a step bigger than you can even imagine. Be open enough to allow that to come in. I'm going to roll some dice. We've got Neptune in Capricorn in the 7th house. Neptune is right now in its own sign of Pisces. So it's functioning at its highest. It's a very spiritual sign. It's going to receive. It almost looks like an antenna. I don't know if you've seen what there's the symbol for it. It looks like an antenna going up and out. So allow information to come in to help transform. It's in Capricorn, so that being the structure of your life again. And 7th house is the house of relationships. So the house relationship with yourself, the relationship with others. Now let's do some letters and maybe a couple charms. See what we've got for you this exciting week. For charms, I've got the word who up here on the Knight of Wands with the symbol for Virgo. So the Knight of Wands, who, and Virgo. So if you have someone in your life that's a Virgo, or you may be, the Knight of Wands isn't the most reliable person if you're dating, but it's the fun person. It's excitement. So enjoy it. If you have a Virgo in your life who's passing through, enjoy it. Enjoy it while it's there. Okay, we have this little symbol for a gift, which we talked about, a 6th year being the year of the gift. We have a castle here. The word held over the 7 of Voices, the moon and the sun, which is cool because a new moon is when they come together, right? So we've got this sun and the moon together with the word held and a tape measure. Okay, and then I have the word man landing over the King of Wands. I have the number 22. This little cool thing that's like 3 circles together, and an eraser. All right, let's see what letters we have. We also have a dragonfly that fell over here. And I've got the letter S, I, I've got the word sin, I've got, let's see, L-E, I've got the word dear, D-E-A-R. What else do we have? I'm going to take a picture of this so you can see it too. I've got a blank letter here. And I've got, What else? Got the word pain, P-A-I-N. Dear pain, sin, and got the word, I guess I could say the word lager, like beer, lager. And, all right, well, I'm going to use this blank one as a K and have the word key. All right, so lager, deer, pain, sin, and key. So, have a fabulous week. Pile number 2. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. The water bearer. Wanting to help you feel emotions, not just be in the mind, right? Okay, so I have 4 decks that I'm working with. The Modern Witch, the Herb Crafters, the Muse, and this new Mermaid deck. This is what it looks like. And that's by Dame Darcy. So some fun decks here. All right, let's see what you need to know this week ahead. This big week. There's a lot of energy going on this week. It's pretty exciting. All right, I haven't looked at any of these cards yet. I used my pendulum to pick them, and let's see what you need to know. We're starting off with the Lovers. Look how beautiful. From the Muse Tarot. This is one of the cards of the year for 2022. 2022, you add up the numbers, it equals the number 6. This is card number 6 in the major arcanas, the Lovers, ruled by Mercury, associated with the sign Gemini. And we know Mercury is very close to Pluto right now, wanting us to transform, use our words wisely for transformation, being aware that it can be easy to use them harshly, so let's just be conscious of that. The Lovers wants us to move forward, but it wants us to make choices and not just jump into things, right? So bringing love into the situation, and you got the Lovers card starting you off. That's pretty exciting. All right, let's see what the heart of the matter is. We have the 8 of Earth, turmeric. Turmeric, I think it's turmeric. Look at that, they're dyeing clothes using the bright orange color. It's really fun. So this would traditionally be the 8 of Pentacles, which often, is just shown as like working. But this is like working, doing some really beautiful things, creating clothes the way that you want to. Maybe you sewed them. Turmeric is I believe it's used for heating things up, right? I think they use it to bring heat into the body. That's my understanding. So there's this brightness in the heart position, this really bright energy. Let's see what's supporting the heart of the matter here. We have the 10 of Inspiration, or the 10 of Wands. It's kind of a funny card from the Muse Tarot. So 10 is, pretty high point there in the minor arcanas. There's a lot of inspiration. Looks like these are all like cows or bulls down there in the bottom. So, well, bulls can be a little stubborn. So 10 of Inspiration, there's a lot of fiery, spicy energy going on here. And just being careful not to be overstimulated. At the bottom, we have the 5 of Swords from the Modern Witch. Looks like there's been some arguments going back to Mercury being in retrograde, Mercury being very close to Pluto. You want to choose your words wisely so you don't end up in fights. There may be some things that you need to say, and you may want to time that later, or you may want to choose wisely. Behind the scenes, we have the 5 of Air, White Sage. So this is the same card as this, but what a different version. Now, to me, White Sage is used to clear, right? It's like almost used like bleaching, right? So especially if there's been an argument, it's really great to burn sage. So it's being harvested here. It's very beautiful. Really nice expression of the 5 of Air. We have the Six of Pentacles also behind the scene. This is another version of the card of the year in some ways, the year of the gift. I'm going to keep going and then we'll review this. So we have in the future position, we have the Six of Pentacles again from the Mermaid Tarot. And we have the Devil card, which is another card of the year. So you got two cards of the year. Again, 2022 equals 6. The Lovers is number 6. The Devil is number 15. 1 and 5 equals 6. So there's something here. Your theme was bring love into the situation. This new moon, this goddess being reborn, this energy starting to stir, this uprising energy here. This Bob Marley sign, right? So the Lovers there. This really passionate energy in your heart. There's a lot of passion around you, but the words could maybe be being used poorly. It almost feels like you want to move forward, but also like not burn bridges in the process. This Devil card, it's almost like she's crying and he's just kind of watching her. So the Devil rules anything below the belt, right? All the things that we push down, including guilt and shame and all of that kind of stuff, temptations. And it's like it wants to be cleared out. It wants to move forward. So I want you to choose your conversations wisely with the theme of bringing more love into the situation, not so much arguments. If there's a conversation that needs to be had, you want to try to find the gift in it. What are you learning from this? How can this be said enough to free you in a sense, but without damaging relationships? And then the White Sage is there to help clear this out. It's interesting that the White Sage is, I was talking about like bleaching, and this is almost like, well, this is dyeing the clothes. Interesting, kind of the opposite of bleaching. I'm going to pull a few more because I feel like I'm missing something here. What is the most important thing right now for you to know? I've got the Five of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the King of Swords. Okay. There's a lot of like conflicting energy here. Look, Five of Wands, there's an argument. Could be teamwork turned into an argument. The Ten of Swords, I love this version where she's just looking at her phone. Kind of when you reach that overwhelming point where you're just checking out. And then the King of Swords coming in here in the center. Big business, taking control, holding the sword, yet there's these butterflies, this gentleness above the King of Swords. So you really got to use your words wisely because there's easy argumentative energy here. You may feel that you're bringing a gift or you're doing something that's going to help move ahead, but it looks like it's going to cause more conflictive problems. You want to bring love into the situation. And sometimes sometimes it just needs to, maybe being loving to yourself, not going into an argument right now. I'm kind of held up on this Eight of Earth turmeric. It's almost like taking those clothing, maybe those clothing had stains on it and they used the turmeric to cover that up. Maybe there's a new fresh way and there's laundry being aired out there, and we're talking about air energy, Aquarius energy, kind of letting things air out a little bit and move on a little bit past getting out of these retrogrades a little bit before some major conversations are had, because it looks like it can just lead to overwhelmment. So you want to have good boundaries, making good choices for yourself so not to cause yourself more problems. Let me just pick a couple more. This one's jumping out here. Here's the Ace of Cups. And this pretty much sums it up. Ace of Cups with the love in the cup, right? And it says, bring more love into the situation. So maybe you can bring more love into the situation by writing down this conversation before you have it. It looks like it's in a romantic partnership, or it could just be with really people that you love a lot. And maybe you clear the air yourself first. Maybe you write this down. Maybe you burn that conversation yourself first. You burn some sage around, you clear out take a look at what's really going on here, because you don't want to cause unnecessary damage, I guess is what I'm getting. I'm going to pull a couple oracles, roll some dice, make sure we're not missing anything here. I've got Scorpio, 7th house, Jupiter. Okay, Scorpio, Jupiter and Scorpio in the 7th house. Okay, so Jupiter, it brings us luck and blessings, right? But it also expands whatever it's near. So, and it's next to Scorpio that rules secrets, that rules deep emotion. And the 7th house, the house of relationships. So it kind of feels to me that if you you could expand the wrong thing right now. You could expand, like the Scorpio rules Pluto, that's close to Mercury, that wants to bring the transformation in. And you could expand it so much that it could just kind of get out of control. 7th house relationships. So I think just keeps going back to choose love, expand that. Maybe this conversation can wait till next week when things calm down a little bit more, less intense. So let's see, I'm going to pull a couple oracles. Balancing act, innocence, and mischief. Here's the balancing act. And it kind of feels like that should go in the middle between the innocence and the mischief. And I like that they're kids, remembering that the kind of the child in everyone. There's a balancing act here. You can only keep it going for so long, that balance. It's that 7 that we rolled, right? And almost like it's like one extreme or the other. Let's try to find more the center, the heart of it, the love of it. Okay, I'm going to pull a few charms. I've got a ring here that fell over innocence. At the top, I have a cross hooked onto a unicycle. I have a mermaid and a guitar. And a little, I don't know what this little guy is. And a book, and a horse, and the letter A over balancing act. Let's see what we get for letters. Well, a couple of them I lost down there. Okay. So let's see what we've got. We've got, why do I think I have the word medicine? M-E-D-I-C-I. I have an E, all I need is an N. Oh, I have it. Medicine, wow. Okay, and I thought I had the word love, but I don't. I have O-V-E, but I don't have love. Almost had the word fool too, but I don't have that either. Okay, let's see. Poof. Poof. P-O-O-F. Is that a word? H-E-A-V-E. Heave. Heave. Poof. I'm not sure here, but I did get the big word medicine. And so, well, you think of medicine, you take it when you really need it, right? And so make sure that you really need to have this conversation this week. That's what I'm getting. Okay, did I do everything? Yes. All right, I'll take a picture. Have a great week. Thanks. Pile number 3, hold your vision, fixed moon. All right, let's see what you need to know. This Aquarius new moon week ahead. Haven't looked at any of these cards. Use my pendulum to choose them for you. I have 4 different decks here. We're starting off with the Herb Crafters Tarot, one of my favorites. And we have the 8 of Air, licorice. It's funny because I'm drinking licorice tea right here. So 8 of Swords, traditionally, right? And licorice, I mean, I love licorice because it just, my stomach just loves it, craves it. It's very calming, helps digestion. And so, 8 of air licorice. The gate is opening. It's almost like this old foundation is this arch here, these old stones are kind of breaking down. This gate is opening, something new. 8 of Swords, I'm trying to think. 8 of Swords is traditionally kind of looks like the mind very overstimulated. Everything's fine, but there's a lot of overstimulation. This is a different version. So let's see what we've got here in the heart of the matter. We have the 4 of Wands from the Modern Witch Tarot. Looks fun. Looks like they're having a nice time together. Hold your vision, right? We can easily get caught up in our mind about the things that aren't working or the things that are broken down, but the gate is opening. Something new is coming in. There's this relationship here. Supporting the heart of the matter, we have the Knight of Emotions, or this would be the Knight of Cups. Quite the romantic. Neptune is in Pisces right now, its own sign. I think this is a very Neptunian kind of card. I feel a lot of romance around this. Foundation, you have the 4 of Voices. Oh, aren't I always talking about baths? Look at that beautiful bath with rose petals. All this light coming out of her eyes. This is a really cool card. This would be the 4 of Swords. And you know, usually it's like a card of like someone resting their swords on their side. And there is this need to just kind of connect. It kind of feels like Pisces again, even though it's really not. But it's like those candlelit baths and just connecting bigger, taking that time to pause, to envision what you want. Holding your vision, that's your theme card here. Holding the vision of what you want. Maybe you want romance, or maybe you just want better friendships, more compatibility, people that can dream with you and be creative with you. And there's a change happening here. And I think of licorice as so soothing. And I know some people don't like it. I love it. There's something there that, you know, maybe what you like is different. It's Aquarius. Aquarius is different. So holding the vision of what you want. Behind the scenes, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Modern Witch Tarot. Very cool. Nothing, or I'm sorry, this is a King. I don't know if I said Knight. This is the King. So this is not going to happen quickly. Pentacles is a slower moving thing. King is a little bit older, taking some time. But don't give up your vision. Here's the Hanged Man, talking about things delaying a little bit. The card of divine delay. This is a Sailor. All right, and in your future position, you have the 5 of Swords with that lightning bolt, right? That's so Aquarian. There's a lot of sailors in this mermaid deck. But it's almost like all of a sudden out of the blue, something can come in. I mean, 5 of Swords is often can be seen kind of negative. I think this is like, here it is. Keep envisioning it. Anything's possible. It's Aquarius. Unpredictably predictable. And this is the Queen of Wands, and she's Time in this deck, and I love it, especially having a shop called Tarot in Time. Time is actually, I know essential oils, I have a book about essential oils and what themes go with it, and Time is considered the oil of truth. And so she's mixing this potion. And so there's something there. And Time is also one of those scents that like some people hate it and some people love it. I love the smell of Time. So it's almost like something here, like there's a uniqueness for what you want. And you have a very specific taste, so to speak. You need to keep envisioning it and allowing it to just come in all of a sudden. Here you go. Hold your vision. Here it is. Vision board would be great for you. Working kind of like some potion, some kind of brew, some kind of thing, like almost like your own love potion of bringing in what it is that you want. And again, if this is not a romantic relationship, this can just be friends. This can be people, the right people for you. I'm going to pull a few more cards if there's anything else important for you to know right now. I've got the Eight of Swords. That's the second time it's come up. The Two of Cups in the center. And the Seven of Swords. Okay. So, Eight of Swords here. What a different version, huh? This is more classic, traditional version, where this is the licorice one we started off with. It's almost like everything's fine. You're just kind of overthinking and being held to thought. Probably most of which aren't even true, right? So kind of doing that list that we talked about, getting the thoughts out. Get them out and gone. We're ready. We're ready to clear that stuff up. Going into a tiger year this year, new lunar year. Here's the Two of Cups coming out in the center. Relationships, more satisfying, more aligned to you. Fabulous. Here's the Seven of Swords, where you have to leave one relationship behind that's not working. It's time. Could be just the relationship of how you talk to yourself. There's something there that's ready to be left behind, relationship-wise. And she's taking the Five of Swords, the Five Swords of Change with her, and you have the Five of Swords here. Okay, so you're ready. You are really ready for more gratifying relationships, more romance if that's what you're looking for, kind of freeing your mind up, moving forward, holding your vision. I would be making a vision board right now. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple oracles. This is the Relative Oracle by Carrie Paris. Let's see what we've got. Comedy, tragedy. Competition. And drama. Wow, all right. Comedy, tragedy. A lot of extremes. Remember I said the chart was kind of like one-sided? Depends what your rising sign is, where it falls in your chart, but all the energy was kind of together. So it's almost kind of extreme in a way. There's competition, and here's drama. All right. Well, I say it's time to put this behind you, the competitive nature that will allow you to be more open to the right people. The comedy, tragedy, drama, you might want to just watch some good movies this week and start envisioning what it is you want. Maybe watch some love stories. Go for what you want. I'm going to roll some dice here and see what we got for you. We've got Mars in Scorpio in the 11th house. 11th house is Aquarius's house. Mars, how you take action. Scorpio, it does rule sex, it rules deep emotion, it rules secrets, it rules transformation and change, deep emotion. It's ready to come up and out, take action. Mars is a symbol for the male. Let's see if I can show it to you. Right, is that it? Mars, there it is, Mars. Okay, and I think I showed you Mars. Anyways, Mars, Scorpio, 11th house, large groups of people, friend groups, new, bright, humanitarian, fight the power, uprising kind of energy, right? So taking action, no more hiding. Scorpio loves to hide, no more hiding. Get out there, drop the competitive vibe, drop the idea that what you want doesn't exist or that you've got to fight for it. Drop the people who are competing with you. Move on into more compatible relationships for you. I'm going to pull some charms. Okay, up at the top, I've got the word heart. Hold your vision. Here's an anchor getting grounded. It fell over this Four of Wands with these two people in the relationship. The sign Aquarius. Wonderful. That's right now. Got a little bee here. The year of the gift. The gift fell out. Got some dog tags back here. I've got the word took over the Seven of Swords where you're leaving something behind. And the word royalty, which makes me very happy. Okay, let me do some letters. Give you one or two more. have here? I have a D, an O, an L, a Z, a C. What do we got? All right. I want to make the word love. I've got a blank for the V. I've got love. I've got, I've got the word cat. All right, what else? C-A. I'm going to take a picture of this so that you can look at it yourself and see what you get. I've got the word dice. Love, cat, dice. What else? I've got the word pool. Love pool. And the rest is going to be up to you. I've got the word Zia, if you know any Zias. I think that's a word for an aunt also, right? And the word axe. Okay, I'll take a picture. Have a fabulous week. Happy new moon.